G'day Trailblazers, my name is Cam, and for today's video, we'll be taking you through how to design and plan for a journey using Journey Builder in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. So let's start with what is a journey and what is Journey Builder. Well, Journey Builder is a function or a builder inside of Salesforce Marketing Cloud. It's one of the apps you can access from the drop-down menu across here into your Journey Builder and the Journey Builder app. Now inside this app, we can of course see journeys that we create. Now a journey is just a series of actions to create a customer experience. For example, I can create a brand new journey, make this one as a multi-step, and go create, and here we have the main foundations of what to create with a journey. We start with an entry source, so how do our records get into this activity? We then build the activities that customer experience, so they could be things like your emails, SMSs, and other things. We can create some flow controls, that is things like some logical decision splits, some engagement splits, some A/B testing, some optimizers, and some wait until other activities occur. This allows us to create a unique experience we've pre-planned for our subscribers to go through. So as an example, it could be something like a welcome campaign or an onboarding campaign. So our start, our entry source, could be something like our member database. And so for every new member who subscribes, for every new lead that we sign up, for every new campaign participant who signs up to attend a campaign or an event, we want to add them to this journey. They start the journey here. They then could receive things like an email, for example. So they receive the email, we could then wait for a couple of days to see how they engage with that email. So for example, let's wait for 2 days or 3 days. Wait for 3 days and then what? Where we could say, let's check the engagement of that email. Did they open? Did they click? Did they do something specific, like click a very specific link in the email? If they did, let's do something else. If they didn't, then maybe we have to send them a reminder. Or do we check to see if they're getting emails at all and try send an SMS instead? Again, a journey is a way of connecting various pre-planned experiences for a subscriber to go through. So, how do we start to plan out these journeys? Well, the great thing is that journeys are everywhere. We experience them every day as recipients of retail communications. For example, as I just said, things like a welcome journey. It's a series of activities that you get during onboarding. Now, the key thing to think about when it comes to planning for a journey is making sure that your journeys have a purpose. A journey, of course, is one of these pre-planned boxed activities. We don't want to build them every day for every possible activity, but we do want to build them for things that we can pre-plan out, like onboarding. That way we can make sure the content that's sent to each of those new subscribers or new members to our database is going to be our curated and planned content. Now, of course, a welcome journey has a purpose. And that purpose could be something as simple as we want to make sure that brand new member or subscriber is familiar with our brand, our website, our services, and how to engage with us online. It could be something more though. For example, the welcome journey may also have a goal of making sure that user downloads the app or signs in to the logged in platform. Now for that, we can then slightly change what this journey is designed to achieve. Instead of saying something like, we'll send them a welcome email with some education and check to see if they engage with it, it could instead be, well, let's not check to see if they engage with the email. We want to check on the more important metric for this journey. Because the key goal of that onboarding is to get them from sign up to what? To use the app, to log into our store page, to do something we can measure. So in that case, we do something like a decision split, use some data, use some logic. Did they log in? Did they download and log into the app? Did they go to the store and do something? Whatever the message was in that journey, that first communication, it should be nudging them towards that end goal of achieving the conversion criteria for this journey, the goal of this journey. And so we can use a decision split, for example, to check against our own database to see if they've done that. Key thing here, of course, being, do we have that data that we need to see if they actually did log in, download and log into the app, go to the store and log in, or even add something to the cart? Whatever the goal of the onboarding journey was, that could be it. Now, a great example could be something like a streaming service. And of course, the welcome journey could be something like, thank you for subscribing to our service, thank you for downloading the app. But then perhaps it's going to be an onboarding education piece. Something like, I don't know, have you used the liked feature or the wishlist feature? And we could send them that feature, but what about if in the first 3 days, they've already done that? if they've already gone and used the wish list or the like feature. Or perhaps this email shouldn't just say, hey, here's a tutorial on how to use our app or our platform. It should listen to that subscriber and see what they've done. So it could be a little bit smarter. And we could do something like a decision split to say, well, by day 3, have they used the like feature? We can use our split here to create multiple paths. So for example, the first path could be, did you use the like feature? Another path could be something like, did you use the wish list? Did you use both, or did you use neither? And based on those 4 paths plus the remainder, we could then go and create 4 or 5 emails, each targeting what that subscriber has done with our service or our product in their first 3 days. Now this way, we're tailoring our content in our journey, this experience we're building, to always listen to and respond to what our subscribers are doing. And that's the key when it comes to our journey design. Making sure that this particular activity, while we do have a very specific entry source, we should always have a very specific goal as well, and nudge them towards what we want them to do. For our streaming service, that could be, of course, to make sure they use all the key functions of our streaming service, the like, the wish list, and so on. And we could do a separate journey later on. We could say, well, once they've definitely used the like and the wish list, which could be in their first 3 days, it could be in their first 3 years. We don't know this. It's all based on that subscriber's interaction with us. So we may want to wait until those data points come through. That could be a separate journey. Once they've done all the key indicators of someone who's really engaged with our brand, with our services, then we can nudge them towards the next goal. Now that goal could be, for a streaming service for example, to rent a movie or rent a TV show. We don't want to push them down that rental path too soon because they haven't yet got the value back from our platform. Using that wish list and that like feature, of course, enables our AI and recommendations, even better content. And so once they've really engaged with our platform, then we push them down that next offer. They want to rent or buy something else. The same thing could occur for a different kind of onboarding journey. For example, if I clean up my canvas here, it could be an onboarding campaign where you get $10 off your first order. That's a common one. Subscribe now and get $10 off your first purchase. So you sign up, and as soon as you do, an API comes through with your record and it adds you to this journey. The first thing you get, of course, is a welcome email welcoming you to the platform, and of course confirming that you've now signed up. And that email may also contain that $10 voucher. Now, we could of course wait a day to see if you engage with that email, but perhaps we're going to wait for a week. Let's wait 1 week, and then we can come back and check. We can use a decision split to check our loyalty database, to check our issued welcome vouchers, and see have you redeemed the voucher or not. Now, if you have redeemed that voucher, that $10 we've already commissioned for you, invested in you, if you have redeemed it, then great. We maybe do nothing else. We just exit you from the campaign. But if you haven't redeemed it, then we really want you to. We've invested $10 in you. We want you to come back and use that voucher. So let's now do another reminder email this time and say, hey, don't forget to use that voucher. Here's the expiry date. Here's some things you might like or popular items in our store. Please go back and use that voucher. And you could once again have another wait condition for another few days or a week and say, hey, once again, we'll come back and we'll check and say, did you use that voucher? If you did, let's eject you from the journey, you're all done. But if you didn't, then let's once again give you a final reminder. Please don't forget to use that $10 voucher. Now again, the goal of this journey has always been the same. We want to get that new user, not necessarily to educate them about the platform or how to use our services, but the goal is to get them to purchase something with us with that voucher. Because again, once that subscriber, once that member has purchased something for the first time and used that voucher, they might really enjoy our products and services and come back again later. That investment of that initial $10 welcome voucher might pay dividends with them being a loyal customer for years to come. So again, this journey's entry is them becoming a new member. And the goal, all the content, all the logic in this journey is always designed around one thing: get them to buy something with that voucher. And you could get more complex here, of course. You could do something like, did you purchase, but not use the voucher? So again, if you're also loading in your shopping data into your marketing cloud, perhaps you could do a much more inclusive decision split, saying, did you purchase, yes or no? And if you did purchase, did that purchase use a voucher, this voucher, a different voucher, or no voucher at all? And once again, the content in your emails, the copy, the images you use, can once again nudge that subscriber, that member, towards the goal of this journey, to use that welcome voucher before it expires. Now, I've talked a bit about some of the use cases and some of the examples of journeys we experience in our everyday shopping life online. When it comes to Marketing Cloud, there are many ways you can create these experiences as custom as you want to make sure that we are always sending the right content at the right time to the right channel to the right subscribers. I've got a few videos I've already done which contain things like the entry sources, the activities, and a bit of a walkthrough of how to use Journey Builder. If you've not seen that, or if you're not familiar with how to use Journey Builder, I recommend pausing the video now and checking out the link, which I'll put in the description below, so you understand a bit more about the activities, the data entry sources inside of Marketing Cloud's Journey Builder. And the reason is, now I want to talk about how we actually design one of these journeys, because not all journeys are the same. It's important to understand that the Journey Builder is designed to once again be those pre-created, designed experiences for a subscriber to go through at any time. Now, those could happen in real time, like a new sign-up, like a purchase, like someone creating a help and support case. Things can be triggered in real time, but you can also make journeys that occur that are not in real time. That are kind of planned or responsive to different data in your database. A great example could be something like a e-commerce or a shopping customer, retail customer, that wants to do a if you've not purchased in the last 90 days campaign. Now for this, you wouldn't be using an API. You wouldn't be using some Salesforce data, well you might do actually, but you wouldn't be doing things in real time because you would know before that subscriber hits the 90th day of non-purchase. After all, you've had their record for up to 3 months now, and they've not purchased for the last 89 days. And once they kick over into that 90th day of non-purchase, only then do you want to add them into this journey. So you've known there was a potential of communicating to that customer now for weeks or months. The trick here is you weren't reacting to something in real time, you were in fact using data you've had for a long time to trigger this new communication path. So for example, it could be a data extension. We could use a data extension as our entry source for something that we knew about a long time in advance. Again, that could be something like you've not purchased for 90 days. You've not opened an email for 180 days. You've not clicked for the last 120 days. Or perhaps it's your birthday. And again, if you've got a membership database, then you know about that subscriber's birthday up to a whole year in advance, right? So you're going to have that data already sitting there. And perhaps every day at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. local time, you run an activity which re-renders that data and selects all the new subscribers, all the new customers for this day's run of the journey. So let's pretend it's something like a you've not purchased for 90 days activity. So we're going to have a process in the background. It's going to be a data extension with possibly an SQL automation backend. It's going to query our store database and our orders database and our subscribers database. It's going to match them all together. That's going to try and find the shoppers who've made a purchase in the past, but have not made a purchase in the last 90 days. So everyone who matches that criteria today, that is, it's been exactly 90 days since their last purchase, not 91 and not 89, but exactly 90. They're going to come into this journey, start here. First thing we'll do, of course, is send them an email and say, hey, it's been a while. Or perhaps if you're an omni-channel marketing platform, perhaps you can do a decision split and say, well, what is your preferred channel? Based on your profile, are you email, are you SMS, are you push or something else? And send a communication saying, hey, it's been a while since we've seen you. Here's some new things you may have missed since you last bought from us. Now again, if they're a regular email engager, they may know about your campaigns and deals that are going on at the moment. But if they're not, it might be some good content to show them. Here's some things that are new in this season or otherwise. But of course, you can also do something like, hey, it's been 90 days, here is a dollar voucher or a percentage off your next purchase, and you could issue them a voucher. And the next part here, we could do something like say, well, we know the experience for an email or an SMS recipient is going to be the same. We just want to contact them on their preferred channel. And once that's done, we can join this back together again. So for example, we'll rejoin our journeys back onto one common stream. Now here, we could add some more logic and say, well, buying something doesn't always happen same day. We've of course got a 1 week wait here. We could also make a 1 week condition here. So just 1 week, done. And so now a week after those are sent, we can do something else. We could, for example, have another decision split. we could look up our orders database and check to see if the subscriber who's on this journey has made a purchase. Is their last purchase date now less than 90 days? That is, have they made a purchase more recently? Or perhaps even look up on their unstructured data to see if there is in fact a receipt or a transaction or a record which we can look up and again use for our logic path here. Have you purchased? Yes or no? Now if they have purchased, then maybe it's do nothing. Pick them out. This journey has achieved its thing to make them repurchase. Again, that was the goal of this journey. If they've not purchased though, we need to keep nudging them. What else could it be? Could it be offering some free shipping? Could it be offering a upsell or a value add with an additional item? Whatever your business can use to trigger that purchase. Again, the journey here is designed for one thing, to get that non-purchasing member back into that purchasing cycle again. Now what's important here is that each of these journeys has a very specific goal. We're not saying that once that new record comes into our database, we're going to send an email, wait for, let's say, a week, and then we're going to go and check something. If they did that one thing, then we're going to go and send another email, and then we're going to go back again and check, say, a week later if they did that thing. So we're not making a journey which has a whole lot of goals. We may have, of course, an end goal, which is them to be a super loyal customer or subscriber who's made transactions or has done something else that's critical for our business, but we're not building it all into one super duper journey. We're instead saying that we actually know these activities fall into smaller events. The most important thing that we know to compartmentalize this journey or this customer experience is to get them in and welcome them, educate them, and show them how to use our platform. Once they're invested, then try and push them towards a purchase activity. Once they've purchased, push them into a second purchase or some other kind of retention activity. But again, those are not one super duper journey. We're now talking about 3 separate events. Now here's why. Customer journeys are rarely linear. I used the example earlier of a streaming platform, for example. Now, if you are a first-time streaming platform user, then you may really need that very first email which shows you how to use the like feature, how to use the list feature, and even to describe them, give you the value add as to why you want to use them. However, if you're a more experienced streamer, and perhaps this is your 3rd, 4th, or 10th streaming service, then you probably know how these things work. And so once you sign up, chances are before that email even lands in your inbox, you are already in there liking things and adding things to your wish lists, because you know the platform is going to use recommendations to give you the best content on your dashboard. Now, if that's the case, then you don't want to start lamenting on this customer with the different kinds of content to use your platform. You can skip the rest of that journey and go straight to the next activity. And for that, you don't want to have things like this week-long wait before you have that decision split or that other logical event to check to see if they've done the things you said in the first email. You don't want to wait a week, because by that week point, they may have in fact done something else that's more valuable. So that's why you don't want to build multiple goals into one journey. You want to make it one very specific, very narrow focused goal. Because once that's been achieved, they've gone in and done the thing, you want a whole different journey. You can go back and make a whole new journey activity, and this one's going to be, well, based on our querying each day to see if you've done the onboarding activities, then we'll send you the next thing to say, hey, great, you're now advanced in our platform, you understand how to use the like and the other features. Have you seen our shopfront for renting movies? Hey, and by the way, rent one, get your second movie free. And that way you can make sure it's triggering based on their actions. Not on some chronology, not based on just some waiting condition you've got built in your big journey, but you can listen to their individual data points. And here's the other reason too. When we talk about journey flows for a customer, yes, we often have their initial experience. As a subscriber, you may go to the website. On the website, you fill out the form to become a member. And then, of course, we'll start your journey activity and you become a member. And so that first thing may be that onboarding welcome, and you get that welcome email. And let's assume that you engage with the email positively. And so then you may have a whole separate journey later on, which says, well, hey, since you engaged, and we know you're going to be an active subscriber, here's some more information. But at the same time, they may do something silly on their account. They may lock themselves out. And so you may also have another activity based on support cases. To say, hey, once you raise a support case, we want to trigger you a support case in Marketing Cloud. Make sure you know we've now looked after your support case. It's in the process of being looked after. We'll reach out soon to help you out. And what's important here is you may have a journey that occurs a bit later on, like that purchase journey. Once you've onboarded the platform, we want to start talking to you about the rental process or something else. But perhaps we shouldn't send that rental process email if we have an ongoing support request happening. That's not going to be a great customer experience. So you can make part of the criteria for this to wait until there is no ongoing support requests before you send that next step email. So let me show you what I mean when I say that no customer experience is linear. Again, with our use case, we could say that our brand new member goes to our website to subscribe, and as a result, they go straight into our first journey. And of course, that journey could then trigger something else once complete. But as a customer, I may also trigger a support case through the website because I've done something wrong. And of course, I may have something else, such as a disengagement. If I've stopped engaging with the brand, with the shop, with something, there may be a reason to re-engage with me because I've disengaged. And once again, I want that to be separate. If you do certain things, there could be criteria to join some other part of the journey or some other part of the experience. And again, this linear path is no longer linear. This customer's experience, their way of interacting with us as a brand, might be totally all over the place. And we can't do that if it's all put together as one journey. It makes it too hard because you can't just go backwards and forwards in time when it's one journey. You want to break them out into individual experiences to make sure that whenever someone does something with your brand, with your website, with your products, you always have an activity to pass them on to. And always towards those main goals to make sure that your customer is satisfied, they're receiving the right kinds of support, and able to engage with your brand in a positive way. If you ever find things that are indicating against that, such as a lack of email engagement, if they're submitting a negative NPS score, or lots of support cases, again, you can have those activities sitting here waiting to try and pick them up, give them that help and support, and ideally convert them back into a happy customer. And of course, if they're not a happy customer, you may have another journey off the back of that, which might do, for example, a disengagement campaign. A way to say, you know what, we recognize that perhaps this isn't for you, let's begin to offboard you. Once again, you have these journeys as individual self-goaled activities, always designed to achieve a goal and nudge that journey back onto their main lifecycle flow. Okay, so to recap, we understand now that a journey is a series of events we have put together in a curated way to achieve a goal. A data entry source brings our subscribers in one by one as they meet that criteria. The criteria can occur in real time, or it can occur in a batched process, be it minutely, hourly, daily, weekly, or yearly. Once we bring those records in, they experience that flow based on their data. We can use some of these logical flow controls to then make that experience different for each subscriber, checking their individual data, personalizing content, but also splitting them off into different branches of the journey based on what they've done or not done. They always focus on the same common goal. We want every subscriber in this journey to be nudged towards that conversion event, that activity, if it's reading something, downloading something, buying something, or experiencing something. Make sure the journey always pushes them towards that, and making sure we check that as well. We can also make that a goal inside of Journey Builder, make sure we define what that goal is, which is really helpful because that way that goal also goes towards the metrics of this journey to show if there is any uplift or change in its stats. So to understand that, let's now talk about how we actually design the journey to brief in to build inside Marketing Cloud. Most of the time you don't have access to Journey Builder, so you can't use this canvas to drag and drop things on. What you can do though is use your own workflow tools. I, for example, use the diagrams.net, the draw.io, for my own dashboarding and drawing. Now you can use other things. For example, you could use Miro, you can use Lucidchart, you can use PowerPoint if you want to. Any way you want to represent the activity that a subscriber would go through when they go into one of those journeys. Now again, the criteria for a journey should be something that you can set up, that you can orchestrate, that you can build, and you're not going to be modifying too frequently. After all, things like your sales and campaigns, they're going to be happening more often. You usually do those as single send emails inside Marketing Cloud. You could do Journey Builder, but for most cases, we're talking about a journey as one of these pre-built experiences. Think that welcome email, the re-engagement email, those kind of journeys. So the first thing to think about is what's our entry method? How are we going to get one of these subscribers, members, customers, or otherwise into our data? What's going to be the method? Is it going to be happening on a daily basis, an hourly basis, or in real time? If it's a welcome, remember back in the old days, they used to say you might get the email in the first 15 minutes once you sign up. Well, that was many years ago. We can of course trigger things in real time now. So perhaps if it was a new member campaign, the entry method should be one of the real-time journey entry activities. If jumping into Journey Builder, we have access to a few real-time activities It could be API, it could be the Salesforce data, it could be an event. Don't worry about this too much. It's more important just to note down the entry method is going to be real time. We want this to occur in real time. When someone joins up, we want them to go into the data straight away and not wait for an hour, not wait for a day. We want to get them on the experience straight away. Now we have our entry criteria, and here we can start to write down exactly who should go in this. Now, as a marketer, think about how you brief this as a marketer. So I'm going to say it's going to be new members. Simple as that. Now, of course, if we are using something like Salesforce CRM, this could be leads, this could be contacts. Now, that's not too important right now. What is important though is we are saying new members. We will have to define what this is later on, particularly for the architect or developer who goes in and builds this. But for now, we can just say it's going to be new members. Now, it's new members with what? So maybe new members and yes to marketing. After all, it's important to make sure that for our welcome campaign, we only target customers who have said yes to our marketing comms. It might be yes to marketing, and it also might be has email address. Of course, we don't want to be sending emails to those who don't have an email address. So that could be our entry criteria. And of course, you can add a lot more to this as well. What's also important is to think about what data you're going to need inside this journey. So, if this is a simple welcome activity, it's going to require something as simple as, of course, their individual subscriber ID, their subscriber key. We'll need their email address to send emails, of course, their yes to marketing flag to make sure they're eligible, and also first name, the personalization. Now, do we need things like the subscription or their plan name? Again, if we use our streaming service as an example, we want to include the plan name in the content of the email. If we do want to make sure we add that as some of our data requirements. So the fields that we need. So it could be the plan name. And what else could we use? Obviously the join date could be useful. What else? For personalization or segmentation, whatever fields you want to include. It's important because once again, the designer, developer, or architect who goes and builds this is going to need to know where the data is they need to get access to. And once it's all done, as a marketer, your next step is to draw out the campaign itself, the actual journey activities. Now you want this journey, of course, to be once this new subscriber comes into the data, you want them to straight away get that email. So use whatever shapes you want. As you've seen already from the Journey Builder shapes, there are some common colors and some common themes here. So to make things easier, whenever you draw it, whether it be in PowerPoint or Miro or in this drawing program, make sure you use similar tiles and similar designs. So I can say this one here is going to be my email. Make it blue, for example, and say here it's going to be email number 1. Perfect. This will just be our welcome email. Just like that. Now for our welcome email, we're later on going to have to brief this in and make sure it's very clear what this email is and does. Now, as a marketer, and hopefully as an email marketing specialist, you're going to know that emails take a bit of time to be in market to make sure all those opens and click events take place. So the very next activity should always be waiting. We should wait. Now, usually about 1 to 3 days is the kind of minimum, but it depends on your business, depends on how actively you want your subscribers to engage. That very first email may contain some critical information which they have to get access to on day 1, so perhaps it could be a 1-day wait. However, if it's more of an educational piece, it might be more like a 3-day wait. So let's say it's a 3-day wait. And once that's done, what's our next step going to be? Now, I should have made our wait the same shape actually as our wait, which I'll just double check is a tile. So we're going to do a wait, and then we're going to do what? We're going to do a split. We're going to check the data. Now, is it going to be an engagement split, a data split, a conversion split? Are we checking something? Once we check that thing, let's just say it's a did you log into the website, right? So it's going to be a split and login. This is going to be the question. Now our split here is going to have a very simple activity. Did you log in, yes or no? If you did, and if you didn't. Now if you did, we can use a little arrow here and say, yes, you did, green. Did you not log in? No, you didn't, red. So you can use some color coding here to make it really easy to try and describe what our journey is trying to achieve. If you logged in, yes, then this could be email 2.1. Email 2.1 is a next steps email, whereas email 2.2 would be reminder. Perfect. Now, for the reminder email, we once again want to wait for a few days, just like that. And once that's done, we could redo a login check again. So perhaps we actually copy all this activity across, and we say, well, 3 days later, we'll check our split once more, and you could receive the same email once again, or a reminder once again. But of course, once you do the thing we want you to do, which is to log into our website, we want you to get this email. The cool thing is we also know that we can join these experiences together with that join activity. So perhaps that joins to that. There we are. Hit your next steps. Your next steps can once again wait a few days to see if you do something. Check to see if you've done something else. Perhaps it's a purchase this time. And if purchase, yes or no, and you can see where I'm going, you keep building out your journey. And all of a sudden, there's your journey. Detailed up in such a way that a Marketing Cloud developer or architect can jump in and see exactly what the end goal is of this activity. It is clearly a welcoming and onboarding campaign. It's designed to hit a couple of goals and make sure you do the required activities. Now, perhaps the purchase is a bad example though, for a conversion point, because the goal of this activity should be to get you to log in. And the reason is because the next journey down should be something around the login event. And once again, maybe it's a login journey this time. Now, for our login journey, what do you want this to be? So it's going to be members who log in. All right, and once you've logged into our platform, is this going to be in real time? As soon as you log in, it's thank you for logging in. Here is how we use the platform. So it's a platform welcome perhaps. And perhaps that platform welcome contains educational information about how to actually use that platform. And so you could wait, maybe it's even just 1 hour. If your content requires that real-time interaction, and did you click the email? And if you did, then of course you can receive those next steps communications. If you didn't, then once again, receive some more information. So as you can see, we've now created 2 journeys really quickly and easily, just based on that criteria and using the same workflow. What's the journey? What's the purpose? What's the entry source? What is the content that journey is going to have in it? How many emails? How many logic steps? Of course, always focusing on that end goal. Now, if you want to see the next steps of how this journey brief gets turned into an actual journey instead of Journey Builder, I've got a few videos which I'll link into the description below, which show you exactly how that build step takes place. For now, I hope this session on how to plan and design for your own journeys in Journey Builder has been helpful. If you have questions, then please let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to make some more follow-up content to answer some of the more specific and detailed design questions. After all, journeys can be quite complex to make. If you did enjoy the video, then also please do let me know, and with a big thumbs up as well. And don't forget that you can subscribe to the channel so you get notified when I release more Salesforce Marketing Cloud content.